I've had a few people ask how I make my videos and what gear I use to make them. So I thought I'd make this video to give you a rundown on a bit of both, starting off with what gear I use and then going into the process of a standard review. In this case, it is the Razer Naga Trinity that I'm kind of going through the process of reviewing and kind of showing you how that all works. So hopefully this is interesting to you and almost just a little bit of sort of behind the scenes. And of course, if you're interested in being a YouTuber yourself, then this might give you a few tips on just kind of how I do it and how you might be able to better your process too. So let's get started. Starting off with the gear I use, the camera that I film with, the one that I'm filming with right now and the one that I use for both A and B roll is the Panasonic GH5. It's one that I bought relatively recently, did a full review on if you want to check it out, and I use the Metabone Speed Booster. It's the EF to Micro Four Thirds XL 0.64 adapter. It was a little bit on the expensive side, but it means I can use my Canon lenses. The main lens that I use is a Tamron 17-50 f2.8. With that Metabone Speed Booster, it actually gets to be an f1.8 lens as well, which is very nice, and has a fixed focus point despite like through the full zoom, so it's very nice and very easy to use, and also have a sort of a focus pull that makes it a little bit easier to pull focus as well. In terms of the microphone, the main one that I use is the Rode Filmmaker kit, the Rode Link Filmmaker kit. It's a little bit on the expensive side, but it's a wireless lav kit that's very easy to set up. You just have it, make sure that you're on the same channel, make sure that they've both got AA batteries that are powered, and that's pretty much it, and just plugs into the top of the GH5 and is a nice simple thing to do. Also use a Zoom H1 on my desk for the voiceover recording. When it comes to the tripod, slider and fluid head, the tripod itself, the legs are the Manfrotto 190 X Pro B, if I remember rightly. The slider is a fairly cheap, newer, just sort of like £50 slider from Amazon, and the head is the MVA 500H, also Manfrotto fluid head, the H-bridge, which is actually a pretty nice one, fits very well for the camera, and is a just generally nice bit of kit. When it comes to the lights that I use, the two main LED panel lights that I have are the Godox LED 500 LRCs. They're the ones with 500 LEDs total, but 250 of them are cold white and 250 of them are warm white, so that you can change the color temperature. Personally, I kind of wish that I could go back and just grab the standard LRs, the ones that just have 500 cold white, because then you'll get a brighter overall you know, kind of exposure and you get more light out of them, but you can't change the color temperature. But yeah, that's my personal preference. It'd be nice to have that available, but they're still really awesome lights. You can control them with the sort of RF remote that just uses two AAA batteries, and you control both of them via the same remote as well, which is quite nice if they're on the same channel. I do also have a sort of standard fluorescent photography light. On the other side is a sort of fill light, and then I do also have the LED strips, which is just a cheap 50-50 SMD LED strip that I got off Amazon that's sort of attached to the shelves. So that's pretty much it for kit. Let's take a look at the process for making a video. So the first thing I do when I get a product and I'm going to start working on it is bring it up here to this table, bring the camera down and start filming all the B-roll shots. That starts with just the ones, you know, the candid product shots out of the box, and that also goes all the way to the in-use shots of stuff like, you know, with the Razer Naga Trinity, actually playing games on the mouse and configuring stuff like the Razer Synapse software and recording the screen for that, and just sort of walking through all the different options and stuff like that, and kind of giving myself a bit of an understanding of what it feels like to use. Then, depending on the products, it either takes a couple of days or a couple of weeks of testing and general usage to really get my opinion on it. For the Naga, it was a couple of days of using it in sort of gaming applications as well as just sort of day-to-day use, getting my opinion on the comfort, the sort of build quality, and the overall just sort of styling and how it kind of works and how it's all the features that it has, how good they are or aren't. And then I'll come back up here and film my face just like this to go through the full set of reviewing stuff as you kind of see in the video. Once that's done, I then take the SD card card out of the camera and put it in the Ryzen rendering PC. That's the one that's I did a full video on, feel free to check that one out too, but basically that renders out all of the footage that I've filmed over the last couple of days or whenever I last put the SD card in the system. And then once it's rendered out all of the footage for me, I then copy that footage onto the desk PC downstairs, and then I switch to my editing account and bring up Premiere. Once Premiere is open, I create the project file and start going through and editing, or just sort of chopping up the main to sort of 2-camera A-roll piece. Once that's chopped up, I then bring all of those clips together and merge them so that they're a nice sort of cohesive video, putting all of the transitions in and sort of overlapping and sort of, I guess it's J-cutting the clips together so that it's a nice sort of smooth transition. Once that's done, I then go through and add all the B-roll footage on top where it needs to be. So starting off from the start and just working my way through the video. I do lock the main A-roll clips, both audio and video, so that I don't accidentally lose anything, as that has happened before, but otherwise just go through and add all of the B-roll, and then add stuff like the awards in, and then I add the outro clip and sort of reposition the video so that it fits in the right little place, and then go through, save everything, make sure it all looks good, watch it through a final time, and then export it as the final MP4. Normally while it's exporting, because it's relatively quick on my Ryzen 1700 PC, I then go through and create the thumbnail for the Naga. I put a little bit more effort in than I usually would, just because I didn't have an image that I was perfectly happy with showing as the thumbnail, so I went through and added all of the different sides onto one side with the actual standard mouse on the other side, and put some lines in and stuff like that, and the text at the top so that it looks like a somewhat appealing image, and then go through and upload the video. When uploading a video, I put it on my website. I schedule a Facebook post and a Twitter post, as well as just uploading the video itself and obviously adding all the tags and stuff like that. I also create an affiliate Amazon link for the product with all of the different regions that I am able to do, so that when you click on the link that goes in the description down below for the product, it takes you to hopefully the closest Amazon store to you, and then you can actually get an understanding of what the price is for you rather than what it is for me or for the US store or anything like that. So hopefully that's kind of useful. And then I kind of wait for it to go out. I generally have videos stored in advance and scheduled on YouTube, but I really tend to have at least a week of content up, if not 2 or even 3 sometimes. So if you don't see any changes, or if you see me, for example, on the live stream being incredibly sick for a day, but then you don't see me sick in a video for another 3 weeks, that's because I was filming a video that week and then it didn't come out for another 3 weeks after that. So it's kind of the benefits and drawbacks of having scheduled content, but either way, it is still a lot of fun to do this, and I've kind of refined the process over time for it to sort of work for me. But if you are someone who's looking to sort of do your own YouTube videos, or if you already are and you're looking for your own sort of tips or something to make it a little bit easier for you, do bear in mind that this is just how it works for me and sort of my I guess my life. So feel free to find your own kind of niche and your own sort of workflow, as it definitely helps. But with that said, that is my kind of process for making videos and also the gear I use. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and if you know anyone who could potentially benefit from just seeing how I go about things, then feel free to share this video with them. Otherwise, feel free to check out the other videos that are over here, and of course you're probably subscribed already, but if you aren't, feel free to take a look at the subscribe button too. And of course, as you probably also know already, if you want to support me making these videos on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday basis, then there's a Patreon link in the description down below where you can support me directly, or the Amazon and Overclockers UK affiliate links where you can support me slightly less directly, but still very much definitely help out. So otherwise, that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.